Good evening, boys and girls. So, how are you guys? Good evening, Kiran Shukla and all others, Swati, who have joined. So, guys, during the first 2 hours, what are your queries during the course of lecture? You can send them on the mail, on the BOS mail, which has been provided through your app or whatever mode you are using. So in the last half an hour, we shall be talking. Okay. Is that fine? And am I visible and audible, guys? Confirm on the mail, please. And guys, this session would be in English. And in the last half an hour, if you want to understand something in Hindi, then we can do. And anyways, if I speak in Hindi during the session, that would be translated in English also. So students, last time we had studied about chapter 1, nature, objective and scope of audit. We understood what an audit is all about. What is the scope of audit? That an audit provides assurance, that it provides reasonable assurance. We had also understood the limitations of audit. We also gained an elementary knowledge about standards on auditing, which you are going to study in your syllabus. So today, guys, we shall be starting a new chapter. That is chapter number 2. The name of the chapter is Audit Strategy, Audit Planning, and Audit Program. So remember, guys, I had told you last time that many of your chapters are largely based on standards on auditing. So this chapter number 2, is also mainly based upon SA 300. Okay. So we shall be studying this chapter in context of SA 300. So SA 300 is planning and audit of financial statements. So before we start the chapter, guys, can you read this saying? Yes, guys. Can you read this saying? Now tell me on mail, what is the importance of this saying? What does this convey? This is a saying by former US president. Yes, guys. Tell me what is the significance of these 2-3 lines which you are showing, which you are seeing on your whiteboard. Yes, anyone? Kiran Shukla, Swati, and guys, I think both of you were in the previous batch also, if I am not wrong. Kiran Shukla and Swati N. Yes, guys. Waiting for your response, students. Yes. Satya Gupta is saying if basics are strong, the main work becomes much easier. That's in the right direction. Anybody else? Yes. Soumya, Sadab, Priya, Swati, Kiran Shukla. What is the significance of these 2 lines? Yes. Priya, right? Yes. It's fine, Swati. So, Priya, you are saying hard preparation will ease your work. Yes, that's also correct. So, what do these lines state students, the import of these lines is that for doing any work successfully, you have to plan for it. You have to prepare for it. Okay. So guys, you can very well understand that that how much important is planning for doing any work, and audit is no exception. And audit is no exception. Therefore, planning becomes very important while conducting audit. So if you plan the things properly, then obviously it would give good results. So the objective of auditor in accordance with SA 300 is to plan the audit of financial statements in such a manner so that it is performed effectively. So that it is performed effectively. Now, can you tell me, guys, what is the meaning of effectively here? Yes, Sadab. What is the meaning of effectively? What do we mean by effective? When we say that we should plan the audit so that it is performed in an effective manner, what does it basically mean? Yes, anyone who can tell. Yes, guys, waiting for your response. Priya, Akesh Singh, Kiran Shukla, Sadab. What is the meaning of effective here? Guys, we are here to gain conceptual understanding. So these things may not be written in your book. These things may not be written in your module, but these are necessary for you to gain an understanding about the concepts, because during examination conditions, when you would be in doubt, then a conceptual clarity would help you very much. Yes, Pratima Upadhyay, you are saying properly. Yes, properly, but what properly? Swati is saying intended result. Yes, very good. Priya is also saying to achieve desired outcome. Yes, high quality work. That is also in right direction, Sadab. So effectively means to achieve the desired outcome. So what was necessary, it is achieved. So what is the outcome of an audit we had learned in chapter 1? Yes, anybody? What was the outcome of an audit which we had learned in chapter 1? Yes, Priya, you are right. You are saying express opinion on the financial statements, not through the financial statements. Again, while you write, guys, be careful about what you are writing. Remember, always, I told you in the first lecture also, that always remember that preparation of financial statements is responsibility of management. The auditor expresses an opinion on the financial statements, not through the financial statements. So the words you are using, they may give a misleading meaning. Yes, Satya, yes. To express opinion through the audit report, through the means of audit report. Yes, Krish Parikh, you are also right. So obviously, therefore, uh, the outcome of an audit of financial statements is to express an opinion. So planning helps the auditor to do his work in an to do audit in an effective manner, effectively to achieve the desired outcome, so that whatever opinion he is going to express in the audit report, that opinion is appropriate, that opinion is in accordance with the standards on auditing. So planning helps in all these things. So therefore you one cannot undermine the importance of planning. Okay. And as many of you are also writing, planning promotes audit quality. So when you plan the things properly, then obviously it is probable that you would you would do the things correctly during the course of audit, and desired outcomes would be obtained, and you would perform your work effectively. Is that clear, guys? So related to this is also the concept of efficiency. So remember these two words, guys: effective, effectiveness, and efficiency. These two things, these two concepts, you would find handy while we will be studying about audit sampling in subsequent chapters. So always remember that effectiveness means to achieve the desired outcome, and efficiency means to do the things, say, in a cost effective manner, without wasting time, without duplicacy of work. Okay, so this is the meaning of efficiency. Like, say, take your example as a student. So say if a student passes CA exams in 2 attempts, or say in 3 attempts, although he has achieved the desired outcome, okay, but was he efficient? Yes. Was he efficient? The answer would be no, because he wasted time. He wasted, say, 1 year in preparing. Okay, and during the time he incurred costs also. So this distinction always keep in mind, and planning helps an auditor to perform his work effectively, not only effectively but also efficiently. So good planning uh, promotes efficiency. Is that clear, guys? So everybody plans, guys. Without planning, it is not possible to achieve tangible, good, concrete results. Like businesses plan, organizations plan, governments plan, militaries plan. So therefore, auditors are no exception. Auditors also plan. So simple things, but guys, these have to be understood in the language of auditing. As I told you in the last lecture also, that these have to be understood in the language of auditing. Yes, is that clear, guys? Do drop mails, guys. So guys, there are two words in essay 300. One is audit strategy. One is audit plan. Remember, as far as auditing is concerned, these are two different terms. These are two different terms, audit strategy and audit plan. These are two different terms, and you have to understand the distinction between these two. Okay. So before we understand the distinction between these two, also keep in mind that planning activities consist of preliminary engagement activities. Rather, you can say planning consists of preliminary engagement activities and core planning activities, which are further divided into audit strategy and audit plan. So what are preliminary engagement activities? First, we have to understand these. So what is the meaning of preliminary? Yes, what is the meaning of preliminary, guys? Preliminary means introductory, preparatory. So since audit is an engagement, we have studied in chapter 1 that it is a formal agreement between the client and the auditor. Okay. So what do we mean by preliminary engagement activities? So preliminary engagement activities consist of such things, guys, like knowing about the integrity of the client, before before accepting the audit. And what is the meaning of this integrity of the client? It means that you have to ensure, you have to see whether client is not involved in some sort of criminal activities or some sort of money laundering activities, because accepting audit of such a client may endanger your reputation as a professional. Okay. And you would also see whether you would be able to handle the you would be able to handle the audit. You have the necessary resources, you have the necessary resources to conduct the audit, or say the nature of business of company is such that you are not much well versed with the business of the company. So so you may not be able to do justice with your job. Okay. Clear, guys? So knowing about integrity of the client, that is part of preliminary engagement activities. And what else is part of preliminary engagement activities? That auditor checks whether he would be able to perform the audit independently, whether there are any threats to his independence, whether he would be able to whether he would be able to conduct the audit in an ethical manner. Okay. So this is also part of preliminary engagement activities. And third thing which the auditor performs in preliminary engagement activities is that um, that he ensures that management has agreed to the terms of engagement. that management has agreed to the terms of engagement. Now, what are the terms of engagement? So when an auditor accepts an audit, he gives a engagement letter to the client, which sets out certain things. Okay, that which include such matters like responsibility of management, responsibility of auditor. It might include his fees also. What would be the form of the audit report? What would be the scope of audit? These things would be included in the engagement letter. So by giving an engagement letter, and when the auditor ensures that management has understood the terms of the engagement, the terms on the basis of which audit is going to be conducted. So all these three things form part of preliminary engagement activities. Is that clear? Yes. Swati, Darpan, Sadab, Krish. The concept of preliminary engagement activities is clear to you guys? Yes, students, the concept of preliminary engagement activities is clear to you. So, what is the importance of performing preliminary engagement activities? Now, you have understood the concept of preliminary engagement activities. Tell me, what is the importance of doing these type of activities? Yes, anyone? Since you are saying that the concept is clear to you, tell me what is the importance of performing preliminary engagement activities by an auditor? Yes, can you think of some reasons? Just drop a one line or two line. Yes, guys. So obviously, when you perform preliminary engagement activities, you ensure that you would be able to uh, plan and perform the audit properly in an effective manner. Okay, so that um, you perform the audit in accordance with standards on auditing. So these things, performing such activities, help you in understanding your client, and in ensuring that you are able to conduct the engagement properly. Okay. Is that clear, guys? Preliminary engagement activities, guys. This is quite an important concept. In the old syllabus, it was not there. This part of essay was not there. So, in the new scheme of things, this preliminary engagement activities has been added in this chapter. So, obviously, whenever there is a new thing, it becomes important for your examinations. Yes, guys, any doubts here? And one more thing, guys, in case of in those cases where the auditor is accepting the audit for the first time, then there is an additional responsibility as part of these activities to to communicate with the predecessor auditor, to communicate with the previous auditor. So what is the significance of this concept? Why it is necessary for an incoming auditor to communicate with the previous auditor? Yes, can you think logically? Yes, can you think logically, guys? What could be the reason of communicating with the predecessor auditor, with the previous auditor. Suppose I am an auditor, I am going to audit an organization, an entity for the first time. But this essay states that any incoming auditor has a responsibility to communicate with the predecessor auditor, to communicate with the previous auditor. So what could be the reason of this? Yes, can you think logically? And Sadab, you are saying you didn't understand the benefits of preliminary engagement activities. So the benefits of preliminary engagement activities, Sadab, are derived from its meaning. Once you understand its meaning, once you understand what preliminary engagement activities are all about, then you can easily derive the benefit. Yes. Priya, you are saying to get more clearance about previous audit. Yes. And Krish, to know about any fraud or error. So guys, yes, you are writing in right direction. Whatever you are stating from your common sense. Say audit is a subject. Guys, always remember which proceeds on logic. So as you gain knowledge, as you study the subject, your logic will also become more perfect. Your logic will also become more perfect as the course progresses. Okay. So we were talking about what is the logic, what is the purpose of communicating with the previous auditor. Now, although it is written here, now the logic is, say if I as an incoming auditor, if I communicate with the previous auditor, so I come to know whether whether there exist any professional reasons for me not to accept the assignment, not to accept the audit, not to accept the engagement. Like say, the company or the organization might not have been comfortable with the previous auditor. The auditor may have pointed out some violations. There may have been some disagreements about following of accounting standards or violation of some accounting principles. So in those cases, um, the incoming auditor would come to know, or there may be the reason that some undisputed professional fees of the previous auditor is pending. Okay, so therefore it is mandated, and always remember that this, if an incoming auditor does not communicate with the predecessor auditor, then he is not acting ethically, and it is also violation of SA 300. It is also violation of SA 300. So these two things, students, always keep in your mind. These are very important from examination point of view. So should I repeat it, guys, or you have understood? Yes, any one of you guys who has not understood about the significance of communicating with the predecessor auditor? Yes. Any one of you guys who has not understood the significance of communicating with the predecessor auditor? Yes, Krish and Soumya, you are saying repeat. So I am again repeating it. So Krish, Soumya, when an when an auditor accepts an appointment for the first time, it means that I am not the continuing auditor. I am accepting an audit for the first time. So I would, there is a necessity that I would communicate with the previous auditor, with the predecessor auditor. Now the point is why I should communicate with the predecessor auditor, because it helps me to know whether there exist any professional reasons for me to not accept the audit, to not accept the assignment. Like, say, the predecessor auditor might know something about the about gross violations made by the company, and the company might not have been comfortable with the previous auditor. That is why they want to appoint a new auditor. Okay, there can be disagreements between the auditor and the entity over some accounting principles, over following of some accounting standards. There may be some undisputed fees of the previous auditor which is pending. The company is not paying. So this is the logic, this is the reason why communication with the previous auditor is important. So at your intermediate level, you have to understand that every incoming auditor has to communicate with the previous auditor. Why? Reason I have told you. And if he doesn't do so, he would be violating SA 300, and he would be also violating provisions of Chartered Accountants Act 1949. Okay, so it is against professional ethics. So these all things you would be studying in detail at your CA final level. But here you have to understand this much, what is the logic, and that it is unethical, it is against professional ethics, and it is also against the requirements of SA 300. Yes, guys. Yes, Krish, you have understood. And Swati, you are raising some question. You are saying that as previous auditor would have explained his plan to the engagement team members, then new auditor can knew about the plans from them only, right? No, no. This is not about knowing the plans, about how he has performed work. Swati, you have to understood. You have to understand, sorry. It is not about knowing the plans about how the auditor performed his work. It is not that way. Say the auditor has given some report, or he is about to give some report which is inconvenient to the company. Okay, and so if for future they do not want such a uncomfortable person as an auditor, so they want to remove him. So that should not be the proper reason to remove somebody. Okay, is that clear? Is that clear to you, Swati? Yes, Swati, is it clear to you? So guys, the one part is preliminary engagement activities. Now, as far as planning activities are concerned, there are two terms: audit strategy and audit plan. Now, what is a strategy, students? What is a strategy? What do we mean by strategy? Leave audit. What do we mean by strategy? What is the meaning of word strategy? Yes, students, what is the meaning of word strategy? Anyone? Yes, guys. So strategy means a blueprint, or if you can say in a very layman's language, it is similar to a master plan. Yes, Saddam, you are right. Planning the way to do something. So broad, it shows broad contours that uh, how I would go about planning. So audit plan is detailed, detailed action plan. You can say detailed action plan, detailed action points. So now take a very simple example to understand the difference between audit strategy and audit plan. Suppose you have joined CA course. Okay, now you are preparing for your CA exams. So what factors you would be considering for preparation of your exams? So first of all, like you would consider such things: when exams take place, what is the timetable, which subjects are included, what is the course, what is the paper structure, whether I would be doing self study, I need some sort of coaching, I need some help of an expert. What are the passing requirements? So all these things, guys, uh, you would be considering while preparing your before you prepare your detailed plan, isn't it? Yes, guys, do you agree? You would be considering these things before you jot down your detailed plan how to prepare for the exams. Similarly, before before an auditor makes out a detailed plan, he also jots down, he also prepares an audit strategy, like what is the nature of the organization, what are applicable financial reporting framework. Now whether it is a company, then schedule 3 requirements, companies act 2013 provisions would be applicable. Where are the plants of the company located, whether consolidated financial statements have to be prepared or not, whether it is a standalone entity or there are components. So all these things would be considered. Which what type of resources would be needed by the auditor to perform the audit? How many people would be required? Whether he has got the required expertise or not. So all these things would be considered by the auditor while formulating an audit strategy. So therefore, we say in auditing language that an audit strategy sets the scope, timing, and direction of audit. Now, guys, remember these are These are three keywords, and you have to remember these as such. You can't replace these words. While writing in exams, you can't replace these words. So you have to write that an audit strategy deals with the scopes. It sets out the scope, timing, and direction of audit. As it is, guys, you have to write. Then only you would be getting credit in your exams. So you can prepare some acronyms, whatever you feel convenient. Like you can remember these as SPD, scope, timing, and direction of audit. So guys, like in last lecture, our esteemed BOS chairman had also told you about how to remember the various names and names of standards on auditing, series numbers of standards on auditing. So similarly, you can prepare your own acronyms which appear to be convenient to you, which you find to be easy. Okay. So always remember that an audit strategy sets the scope, timing, and direction of audit. Now, scope we have already understood. Like say if it is a company, then provisions of Schedule 3, requirements of Schedule 3 would be applicable. Then timing. Now, in what time the audit has to be completed? So, guys, like in case of companies, the annual accounts are to be approved at the AGM. So, what is the likely date of AGM? What is the last date of AGM as per law? So, obviously, the audit has to be completed before, well before the date. Okay, and direction of audit, that what direction the audit would take. Okay, so remember these three key terms: scope, timing, and direction of audit. This is very important as far as your examination is concerned. Is that clear to you guys? And what does audit plan deal about? What does audit plan deal about? So whereas audit strategy deals with scope, timing, and direction of audit, audit plan deals with nature, timing, and extent of risk assessment procedures and further audit procedures. Now, I would explain to you what these things are. Although these are explained later on in chapter 3 and 4, but I'll make it sure that you understand these terms here right now. So audit, these three are also key terms, guys. So you have to remember these three terms as such. What does an audit plan deal with? So you can prepare your acronym like NTE. So if I remember it as NTE, remember it thrice, 4 times, and it would get established in your mind. It would get embedded in your mind. So while writing in exams, you have to write all these three words as these are. It would help you in MCQs also. It would help you in your solving your case study based questions also. Is that clear, guys? So nature, timing, and extent. So what is the meaning of these three terms, guys? Nature, timing, and extent of what? Of risk assessment procedures and further audit procedures. Now, first we shall understand what are risk assessment procedures. First, we shall understand what are risk assessment procedures. So students, you know this much, that it is by the performance of audit procedure that an auditor obtains audit evidence. So whatever audit evidence he obtains during the course of audit, it is by performing audit procedures. Okay. So audit procedure consists of risk assessment procedures and further audit procedures. Further audit procedures are again divided into other categories we shall be discussing right now. So what do we mean by risk assessment procedures? So risk assessment procedures are procedures which are performed by the auditor to identify and assess risk of material misstatement. Okay. Like say guys, you are in the initial stages of audit. Just audit has started. Okay, assume that audit has started. It is at very elementary stage, and you find the following information while studying the balance sheet of an organization. You find the following information. Say okay, say you are um, seeing the financial statements of an entity, and these two figures, and your attention is focused on these two figures, that last year turnover of a company was 25 cr, 25 crore, and in year ending to 31st March 24, the turnover is 50 crores. So obviously, in my mind, I know that turnover of the company has doubled as compared to the last year. Okay. And if the debtors of the company, trade receivables of the organization in last year were rupees 5 crore, and in the current year, in the year ended 31st March 24, these are say of 15 crores. And I also know that during year 22-23, the company didn't make any online sales, and during year 23-24, the company has made substantial amount of online sales where payments are received in advance or at the time of delivery of order. Okay. And this ratio is also given here. Say debtors turnover ratio is also given here. Or debtors collection period. Say if I divide debtors by turnover and multiplied by 365, then it would be 73 days debtors collection period. And if I calculate it in the form of months, then it would be 2.4 months. That is debtors upon sales into 365. It would be in the number of days, and if I calculate in number of months, then it would be debtors upon sales into 12. Okay. And here this figure would come to 109 days approximately, and this ratio would come 3.6 months. Now, the balance sheet, the financial statements of the company are before me. Okay. So the audit is in very initial stages. I am just inspecting the balance sheet. Now, what do you make out of this data, guys? What do you make out of this data? So in year 22-23, the company was not making any online sales. In year 23-24, the company has shifted substantially to online sales model. What do you make out of this data? Yes, anyone? Yes, Sumit, Krish, Soumya, Priyanka. So Priyanka, you are not appearing for the exams. Sir were telling that you had decided to appear for the exams. Yes, guys. What do you make out of this data? Anyone? So apply your mind a little bit, guys. Apply your mind a little bit, guys. What do you make out of this data? No, Krish, you are saying the data seems to be fabricated. No, it is. I would say that it is from the books of accounts. It is not fabricated. It is from the books of accounts. It is taken from the books of accounts. Yes, you are right, Krish. When the product is sold online, the payment will be received in advance or on the time of delivery. So what should have logically happened? So what should have logically happened? In fact, debtors should have gone down. In fact, sorry, debtors turnover ratio should have gone down. Debtors collection period should have gone down. So, but here the opposite is happening. So there is a possibility. So when we talk about risk assessment procedures, here the auditor has not still identified any misstatement. He has not gathered any evidence to conclude appropriately that there is misstatements in the debtors. He is just analyzing the things. He would be getting evidence when he would be performing substantive procedures. So it might so happen, guys, that there can be many reasons, like debtors could be overstated because some debtors of last year 22-23 or earlier are still outstanding, and the entity has not made a provision on them. Say there is a doubt on their recoverability and the entity has not made the provision on them, so there can be valuation issue. So the auditor would see that there is a risk, that there is a chance. Risk, we are just talking about risk, that there is a chance that debtors may be overstated. There is a chance, there is a risk that debtors may be overstated. Whatever happens, that would be known only after the auditor performs other detailed procedures. Okay. So, but initially the auditor would assess that there is a risk that the debtors may be overstated, that there is a possibility that company has not valued the debtors properly. There is a chance. So if the valuation of debtors is not made properly, if the debtors are overstated, then it would have impact upon the profits. It may ultimately have impact upon the opinion. So provision of doubtful debts may have to be made. So these type of, now what the auditor is doing here, he is just making an analysis. Now such type of procedures are called analytical procedures. Now here the auditor is performing analytical procedures as risk assessment procedures. He is analyzing the things to identify and assess the risk of material misstatement, that there is a possibility, that there is a chance that the debtors might be overstated. Clear? So we say that an audit plan includes nature, timing, and extent of planned risk assessment procedures. Now the auditor in the plan, he jots down that what are risk assessment procedures he is going to perform. He would plan in advance what are the risk assessment procedures he is going to perform. Is that clear to you guys? Is it clear to you with the example? Yes, students, is it clear to you with example? So also remember guys that when we say risk assessment procedures, when we talk about risk assessment procedures, these are not only analytical procedures. Analytical procedures are one part of it, which we have just seen. Okay. These can be inspection, just seeing something, like you are seeing a document. It means you are inspecting it. You are going through some financial statements, some manuals of the organization. It means you are inspecting it. Okay. And observation, when you are observing some process, when you are observing, you are seeing some process being performed by others. Like say you are seeing some activity in the factory which is being performed by others. So it is an example of observation. And another risk assessment procedure is inquiry of the employees. Say if I inquire, as an auditor, if I inquire from the staff of the organization, from the staff of the entity about certain things, like what are the likely orders, if I inquire this from the marketing force of the company, or if I inquire from the in-house legal department of the company that what are the pending litigation cases. So I am just making an inquiry. So the purpose of doing all these things is to identify and assess the risk of material misstatement. Now here at this stage, I have still not performed substantive procedures. This I am coming it to later. What do you mean by substantive procedure? Okay. No, Somya, you are getting it totally wrong. You are saying inspection is beyond the scope of audit. The word was not inspection, it was investigation. Inspection means just seeing something. It is one of the basic audit procedures. It is one of the elementary audit procedures. When you go through some document, say, or when you go through books of accounts, when you go through books of accounts on the computers, on the software, then you are inspecting. Yes, Soumya, is it clear to you? Yes, guys, it is very important for you to understand the meaning of risk assessment procedures and further audit procedures. This we would be doing in detail in chapter 3 and 4 also. But for the time being, I am making you understand some basic things about these. Yes, guys, is it clear? So we move forward. And what are further audit procedures? Now, further audit procedures, guys, these fall into two categories. One is tests of controls, and another is substantive procedures. Tests of control, simply understand, guys, we shall be learning about these in chapter 3. So for the time being, just understand that tests of controls are those tests which are performed by the auditor to see that the controls, the internal controls, the entity's own system of checks and balances, which it has instituted for the effective functioning of its business, these are operating effectively. Whether these are able to prevent or detect material misstatements. Okay, these are tests of controls. And what are substantive procedures? Substantive procedures are those procedures which in fact are performed to detect material misstatements. Which are performed to detect material misstatements. Like say, like मैंने गलती या misstatement उससे मैंने detect कर ली. Like say, for confirming a debtor, I sent some external confirmation request. I sent a confirmation request to debtor, please confirm your balance. And if there is a mismatch, so I know that I have found some misstatement which needs to be explained. So it is an example of substantive procedure. And inspection and observation are also substantive procedures. Procedures are same. The point is, what is the purpose of performing these procedures? If the procedures are performed to detect and assess risk of material misstatement, then these become risk assessment procedures. And if these are performed to detect material misstatement, then these become substantive procedures. So guys, if you are a little hazy, you are saying that it is a lot confusing, then please keep patience. This topic would come again in your chapter 3 and chapter 4, where we would be devoting considerable time in understanding these things. So for the time being, I have given you an elementary overview. Is it fine, guys? Yes, guys, is it fine? Is it okay? So, guys, we were understanding that audit plan consists of nature, timing, and extent of risk assessment procedures. And nature, timing, and extent of further audit procedures. Now, what is the meaning of nature, timing, and extent here, guys? Always remember that you have to learn these terms and write these terms in the exams as these are. Nature, timing, and extent. There is no liberty here. So you can remember, as I have told you, NTE as NTE. Now, can you tell me, guys, what do you mean by nature and extent? Timing you already know. Timing means at what time these are to be performed. Logically, what do you think by the meaning of nature or the meaning of extent? Yes, guys. When we say nature, timing, and extent of audit procedures, nature, timing, and extent of planned risk assessment procedures, or nature, timing, and extent of planned further audit procedures, then what is the meaning of nature here? Yes, Sadab has written nature. What would be covered? No, Sadab, it denotes what would be the type of the procedures, like say whether you would be making and you would be performing analytical procedures, whether you would be performing inspection. So what should be the nature? Okay, characteristics. Yes, Krish, you are right. That is the right word. What should be the characteristics of such procedures? So there are different audit procedures like inspection, like observation, like inquiry, like external confirmation, like recalculation, like reperformance. Okay, so these are all different type of audit procedures. So audit plan includes nature. Nature means what are the characteristics, what type of procedure is planned, and timing, at what time these would be performed, what would be the appropriate time, what is included in the plan, and extent means to what extent. It means how much would be the sample size. It is related to sampling. Okay, so nature, timing, and extent of risk assessment procedures, and nature, timing, and extent of further audit procedures. So these things would be included in audit plan, which would describe that these planned risk assessment procedures and planned further audit procedures are going to be performed. It is still a plan. Always remember, it is still a plan. So there is another word here: nature, timing, and extent of planned risk assessment procedures. Here also there is a word: planned further audit procedures. So guys, in the whole chapter, if you understand the difference between audit strategy and audit plan, if you understand, if you remember the what an audit strategy deals with and what an audit plan deals with, you can never answer any question wrongly which relates to this chapter. This is my assurance to you. So always remember two things in this chapter, that audit strategy deals with scope, timing, and direction of audit, and audit plans deal with nature, timing, and extent. So I want you to remember right here now, so that when you switch off the video, at least these terms are established in your mind. So guys, please remember, please memorize in your mind right now that audit strategy deals with scope, timing, and direction, STD, and audit plans deals with nature, timing, and extent. Yes, Soumya, you are saying my voice is not audible. Yes, Ashokji, am I audible? Yes, there is no problem at our end, Soumya. So clear, guys, I am again repeating it. Remember that audit strategy deals with scope, timing, and direction of audit, and audit plans deals with nature, timing, and extent of planned risk assessment procedures, and nature, timing, and extent of planned further audit procedures. Clear, guys? And one more thing about planning, you have to remember, guys, that it is not that once an audit strategy has been established, once an audit strategy has been framed, and and uh, and an audit plan has also been framed, you can't change it. It doesn't happen this way. Say during the course of audit, if something comes to the notice of auditor which requires him to look at the things in a fresh manner, so he would accordingly change his audit strategy and audit plan. These are these are flexible. These are flexible. It is not that once you have established an audit strategy and or an audit plan, you can't change it. You can change it. If circumstances so warrant, something while conducting the audit, you come to know about something which was not in your mind, or which you didn't know at the time of planning the audit. So obviously you can make changes to your audit strategy and audit plans. Yes, good question, Krish. Yes, you are saying whether I am providing reasonable assurance or absolute assurance. Yes. So actually, I am providing you absolute assurance. Okay, that if you remember these terms correctly in right perspective and understand your meaning and understand their meaning, then you are not going to answer questions in the exams wrongly. Yes. So this is the way, Krish. Now you are, look, now you are using the language of auditing in conversation also. So this is a good sign. This is a good sign. This shows that you are thinking in terms of auditing. Okay. It is a good sign, guys. Krish, keep it up. So clear, guys. And one more thing about audit strategy and audit plan, students, you have to remember. In accordance with SA 300, audit strategy and audit plan, these have to be documented. Now, what is the meaning of documented, guys? Yes, anyone? What is the meaning of documenting? When I say that audit strategy and audit plan have to be documented, what is the meaning of it? Yes, yes, Krish, come on. Yes, Soumya, Swati, Sadab, Priya. Yes, Soumya recorded. Yes, recorded how? In my mind, or where it has to be recorded? How? What is the meaning of documentation? When we say something needs to be documented, what is the meaning of it? Yes, again you are writing. Yes, recording means to put into writing. No, Sadab, it has not to be submitted to management. It has to be documented. Documented means when an auditor performs an audit, so he has to document many things. Right from the starting, he has to keep a record of virtually everything, including audit strategy, audit plan, what procedures he performed, what what is the basis of sampling. So all these things he has to document. So there is a separate essay 230 on audit documentation, chapter 6, which you would be reading later. Yes, Khushi, in written form. So this audit strategy and audit plan, these have to be documented. These have to be put into writing. So the auditor has to write what was his audit strategy. It need not be very much detailed. One can write few points, and he has to write audit plan. He has to document it, that what was included in audit plan, what were risk as planned risk assessment procedures which were included in the audit plan, what were the planned further audit procedures, including planned tests of controls, planned substantive procedures which were planned by him, and he has to further document the changes made to audit strategy and audit plan in accordance with SA 300. Yes, Krish, I have already answered your question. I have already answered your question. You are stating whether changes made to audit strategy and audit plan have also to be documented. Yes, these have to be documented in accordance with SA 300. So this point, students, is also very important from your examination point of view. Do not forget this. There are 3 points pertaining to documentation in SA 300. What are those 3 points? 3 points are that the auditor has to document audit strategy, he has to document audit plan, and he has to document changes to audit strategy and plan and reasons therefore. Okay. Clear, guys? So, guys, there is another term, there is another concept, audit program. Now, Priya, you are saying, can documentation be called as performa of audit plan? No, no, it is not a performa of audit plan. The point is just keep in your mind that whatever plan the auditor has prepared, he has to put into writing. Whatever audit strategy he has established, he has to jot down, he has to put into writing all the relevant points. He has to keep a record of it. And he has to keep all these things in the audit file. Okay. So what is audit program, guys? Have you heard this name, audit program? Yes, students. Have you heard this term, audit program? So, guys, when you would join your articles, when you would be doing your practical training, and you would be going to conduct an audit, suppose, then how you are going to conduct the audit? Say it is the first day in your audit firm, you have freshly joined your articles, and on the first or second day, your boss asks you to be a part of the team which is conducting audit of, say, XYZ company. So how would you know which things, which acts have to be performed by you? Yes, answer my question. Yes, any responses on the mail? Say you have joined the articles, you are going to start your practical training, and you have joined a CA firm, and now the boss has, your principal has asked you to join an audit team for conducting audit of some company. Then how would you know which things are to be performed by you? Yes, Krish, by looking at the checklist, yes, for performing audit. So all these instructions are there in the audit program. Now, what is an audit program? It is a series of verification steps which have to be performed by the engagement team members for conducting the audit. Okay. So like say you want to verify the sales of a company. So in the audit program pertaining to sales, there would be written certain uh, steps for verification of sales. Okay, like you have to check few bills of sales and tally this with the sales account, or you need to verify GST returns and verify sales from there. You trace few entry of the sales in the stock records, quantity quantity of sales, that these have been reduced from the stocks. Okay, so the audit program may contain instructions that you have to verify few e-way bills to see that goods have moved out of the factory. So you know about e-way bills, guys? Any one of you has heard about e-way bills? Like in the last session also, I told you students that you have to keep an open mind. You you would not become a frog in the well. Have you heard this term e-way bill? Although your GST classes may not have started right now, but do you know about e-way bills? Yes, guys, this fairly common term these days in news, on social media. You may be seeing, you may have seen this nomenclature e-way bills. Yes, anyone? Priya, Krish? Yes, right, Krish, Priya, you know about this. So under GST law, when goods move out of the factory, these have to be accompanied by an e-way bill. So what is an e-way bill? It has to be generated on a portal, on e-way bill portal. Okay, so it is nothing but all the details of the sales invoice. Okay, these are fed online. Like what is the value of goods, what is description, what is the quantity, and what is the say registration number of the transporter, how the goods would be transported. So the lorry details, etc. These are all uh, fed on the portal, and a e-way bill is generated, and this e-way bill is to accompany the goods when the goods leave out, when the goods are moved from the factory of the from the workplace of the company or of the organization. Okay. Yes, Priyanka, you are also right. The threshold limit is 50,000. So below 50,000, no e-way bill is required, but beyond this threshold, e-way bills are required. Okay. So guys, I will show you an audit program, part of audit program, which is there in your module. At the end, guys, right at the end. Like extract of sample audit program pertaining to sales of an entity. So there is a name of the firm at the right, at the top. financial year, who prepared, who reviewed, who approved. Obviously, your bosses, your senior team members, or engagement partners would be involved in making audit program. And this is how it looks like 4 items are given pertaining to sales only, so these are just sample 4 items, like vouch few sales invoices from copies available in record of the concern, trace these invoices into the account books of the concern, verify few invoices with e-way bills generated on e-way bill portal, trace few sales invoices in stock records, so on. So whatever you can think about sales, what procedures, how the sales can be checked, how sales of a company, how sales of an entity can be checked. So these are all procedures which are stated in audit program for uh, for the team members to carry out the audit work. So there is another column, extent of check, like how much checking would be done, like say 50%, or what is the basis of sample and who did it, who would do it. It is also included in the audit program. So what you can see from this pro forma of audit program, what you can understand from from this sample audit program pertaining to sales, that it also includes a column of which which procedure was performed by whom. So there is a column for done by. So by including this column done by, what is being ensured? Yes. Anyone? Yes, guys. By including this column, of done by, what aspect, which aspect is being ensured in the audit program? Yes, anyone? Yes, Priyanka, you are right. It ensures responsibility. It fixes the responsibility. It fixes the accountability. So when your boss would be reviewing it, then he would be knowing that who has performed this work, who has performed this procedure. So it fixes the responsibility, and it also keeps a record of what work was performed by whom. Okay, it helps in proper keeping a track record, proper coordination, and all those things. And suppose, guys, tell me, you are part of an audit team, you are part of an engagement team which is conducting the audit of a say some manufacturing company, and you during the course of audit you find something which is not anywhere in the audit program in relation to your duties. So what would you do? Yes, what would you do, guys? Now, Soumya, you are saying eliminate it. What is the meaning of it? You are saying that you would overlook it. Say some step is not there in the audit program. Okay, but as part of um, conducting your audit, there is you observe something which is not proper. You observe something, you notice something which is not proper. So is there some responsibility on your part in this regard? Yes, Krish, you are saying yes. If you find something improper, if you notice something improper, then obviously you would bring it to the light of your senior team members or to the principal. You would not simply ignore it. So therefore, uh, while carrying an audit, we say that articles, article clerks or audit assistants, whatever names you may give, the assistants have to keep an open mind. The assistants cannot take shelter under the audit program for their inefficiency. Okay, so if you find something, you have a you have an ability to see the things in to notice the things in right perspective. You can analyze the things, and it seems to you that this thing is not proper. Then obviously you have to bring it to the light of senior team members or to the principal. So you understand, guys, that an assistant who is conducting audit, he has to keep an open mind. You won't say that this was not there in audit program. So how I am responsible for it? That is not the right proper attitude. So remember last time also we had learned that auditor needs to question. He he needs to maintain professional skepticism. His mind should be a questioning mind. Okay. So students, like this is the sample audit program of sales. So if I change it from sales to purchase, and if I ask you to prepare an audit program, to prepare a draft audit program in respect of purchases of a manufacturing company, so then what will you write? So if this, say if this question comes to you in exams, a 4 mark question comes to you in exams, that you that prepare a draft audit program for purchases of a manufacturing entity. So what would you write? Which steps would you write? So you would draft it in this way: name of the concern, financial year, prepared by, reviewed by, approved by. You would write this format, and you would follow the format given below. And which procedures would you write? Yes, guys, think logically. Which procedures would you write? Yes, Krish, look into purchase bills. So while writing in the exams, you would not use such language, look into the purchase bill. You would write vouch purchase bills. Okay. Anyway, it is right. Vouch means to verify from the purchase bills. You would see whether that purchase bill is entered in the books of accounts. What else? What else, guys? Now you are writing the same thing. What else? Yes, e-way bill can also be there. Say when the party from whom you are purchasing, obviously along with purchases, an e-way bill would be there, and this bill can also be verified from the e-way bill portal as inward e-way bill. So on e-way bill portal, there are two options, outward and inward. Okay. Stock records is also correct. So whenever some purchase is happening, then the stock must have been received in the factory. Whatever raw material. So say and remember and try to distinguish between the terms, like what is written in the paper, like whether manufacturing company is written or trading company is written. So when manufacturing entity is written, then obviously you would be using the word raw material. Okay. So purchase bill should have been accounted for as in item in the stock records. Raw materials should have been accounted for as in items. So these kind of things. Priyanka, you are saying in audit program, what is the meaning of discernible? Discernible means noticeable. Okay. So guys, I have also uploaded on the portal an audit program containing major parts, so that you can go through it. So it is not in your module. So so you can go through that, the audit. You can go through the detailed audit program relating to various aspects, like relating to sales, purchases, inventories, bank accounts. So you can have an idea of the things. So I will show you this program which I have uploaded for your reference. You can have a look at it. Now this is audit program, name of concern, financial year, prepared, reviewed by journal. Now some journal like understand accounting system of the firm, type of software used, identify and assess risk of material misstatement. Say then for fixed assets, like one procedure is verify opening balance of fixed assets for previous audited financial statements. Verify addition to fixed assets, verify sales or deletion, verify arithmetical accuracy of schedule of fixed assets. So um, fixed assets appear on the face of the balance sheet, and details are there in the schedule, which shows the opening balance, addition, deletion, depreciation, WDV. Okay, so these type of things, like for inventories, examine stock records, trace entries from stock records to purchase and sale account, and correlate with source data, examine whether physical verification was conducted. So all these things, like Similarly, for debtors, trade receivables, cash and bank balances, other current assets. So this is not only for balance sheet items, but it is also for profit and loss items. So like for sales, like for purchases, like for electricity expenses. So general. So you can have an overview. So whenever say some question comes in exam relating to it, relating to say drafting of an audit program, so you are not caught off the guard. Okay, so just my advice would be to you to just have a look at it and go through it at least for once. Yes, guys, is it clear? I think it would be helpful to you. So this is already uploaded. It contains the some procedures regarding verification of certain expenses, liabilities, assets. And guys, one more thing, in the last session, um, our esteemed chairman sir had talked about glossary of some audit terms, glossary of audit terms. Like there are technical terms which are used in the auditing, which you would find in your modules. So the glossary of audit terms has also been uploaded on ICAI portal, guys. In the when you go in the new scheme of education, there is a heading of e-resources. From there you can go to the intermediate and you would find under auditing, you would find this glossary uploaded. So it is again for your benefit, guys. And I have also uploaded this glossary in the on the portal also separately. So it would show in your app. Okay, so I am showing to you the glossary of terms. So this is the glossary which has been uploaded, guys. So it has definitions of all the terms which are used in the auditing. So it would act as a ready referencer to you. So so you while studying, while learning, so you do not need to search the whole chapter once again. You can easily refer to this glossary. Okay, so it contains almost all the terms. Okay, like it even includes documentation of overall audit strategy. It also includes documentation of audit plan. Even this term is also there. So it has total of 19 pages. It is quite exhaustive, guys. And I think you must make full use of it. Like inquiry, defines inspection. So all these terms, although these are there in module in different chapters, but here you have got all these terms at one place under one roof. Okay. Yes. Is that clear to you guys? Now let us do some questions. Now question number 1. What is included in preliminary engagement activities? How does preliminary engagement activities help an auditor? Now, what would you write in this? So we just did it at the outset, at the beginning. Yes, Nikita, in a few minutes, in about 15-20 minutes, we would unmute all of you, and you can then ask the queries after doing these questions. Yes, what is included in preliminary engagement activities? What would you write, guys? So you would write, as I've told you, that preliminary engagement activities consist of following, like conducting, performing procedures regarding continuance of client relationships. Okay, to see that conforming with ethical requirements, including independence, ensuring that um, terms of engagement have been understood. So all these things are written in your module. And how does performing such activities help an auditor? You would write that these help the auditor in planning and performing the audit properly. Okay. So when the question is asking from you what is included in preliminary engagement activities, then you would include all the 3 points which are written in your module. All the 3 points which are written in your module, like here. So 3 points are there. So if it is a 3-mark question, then you would write these 3 points and just write 1, 1, 2 lines in brief about this. That would be sufficient. And if it is a 4-mark question, then you can accordingly write, you can elaborate it little bit, and you would also have to write about the second part, that how performing preliminary engagement activities is helpful to an auditor. So you would write this line, that performing preliminary engagement activities assist the auditor in identifying and evaluating events that may affect auditor's ability to plan and perform audit engagement. Okay. Second, why is documenting audit strategy and audit plan important? Discuss requirements of documentation of audit strategy and audit plan in accordance with relevant standard on auditing. So how you would approach this question? So here you would write importance of documenting audit strategy and audit plan. You would write that it serves as a record, and it is mandatory for the auditor to document audit strategy and audit plan in accordance with requirements of SA 300. So you would take your clue from here at the end. So guys, one thing you have to keep in your mind, that in CA exams, concepts are repeated. Questions are not repeated too often. So you have, while preparing for your exams, you have not to follow a question based approach कि मैंने आज इतने क्वेश्चन कर लिए. That would not be the right approach. You have to understand the concepts and then do the questions. Answers to questions would follow automatically. Right answers to questions would follow automatically. Do not say that you do some questions from a question bank. You would never exceed. You would never succeed in this way. First, understand the concepts, memorize the concepts, remember the concepts, then attempt questions by applying your logic and learning you have made. Okay. So documenting audit strategy, it is here. This. So remember these three things. These three things we have considered, that auditor has to document overall audit strategy, audit plan, and significant changes made to audit strategy and audit plan, and reasons for such changes also. This is also important. So this is the importance. This is the importance of recording, of documenting audit strategy and audit plan. So students, many times students fail to understand the context of the question. They fail to understand what is to be written in it. So first of all, you have to understand the question correctly. What is the demand of the question? Okay. And next question is, CAJ engagement partner of a manufacturing company wants to design an audit program for inventories. Look, such type of questions can come. Now I have uploaded an audit program containing all major items, all important items, which we find in the financial statements of an organization. Okay. So, and guys, whenever you find something new, if you find something new in the paper, just do not get confused, or just have a second look at it. Just see whether you can write it. So in questions pertaining to audit procedures, even if you do not remember, just write audit procedures logically out of your common sense, and you would find that the procedures you have written would be exactly the same which are required in the answer. Okay. Clear? Is that clear? Yes. Now let us do some MCQs. Yes. Are you ready, guys? Are you ready for doing some MCQs? Yes. Number 1. An audit plan includes description of what? Which is the right option? Yes. Yes, which is the right option? Only Priya and Priyanka Pandey have given the answer. An audit plan. Now, while doing MCQs, also students read the answer carefully between the lines. Yes. So answer is A. Priyanka, first you had written D. What was the confusion? Audit plan we had studied. Right now we had studied that audit plan includes description of nature, timing, and extent of planned risk assessment procedures and further audit procedures. So first option is right. Further audit procedures are nowhere given, only planned risk assessment procedures is given. Here the word is scope, timing and direction. So how you had first written D? So the right option is A. Yes, have you understood, Priyanka? No, no, I had asked you, Priyanka, to remember three key terms. Audit plan deals with nature, timing, and extent of audit procedures. So you have to remember these three key terms कि कौन से ऑडिट प्लान उस बारे में बताता है जो कौन कौन से प्रोसीजर्स ऑडिटर परफॉर्म करेगा, उनकी नेचर क्या है, उनका टाइमिंग क्या होगा और उनका एक्सटेंट क्या होगा. So answer A is right. So again, I told you that you have not to forget these three terms. This acronym I had also got prepared, NTE, and for audit strategy I had asked you to remember STD, scope, timing and direction. Then why you are getting it wrong? Number two, which of the following is considered while developing audit plan? Yes, which of the following is considered while developing audit plan? हेलो. अभी अभी नहीं, मैं बोलूंगा आपको. Which of the following is considered while developing audit plan? Guys, think carefully. Think carefully. Yes, Krish, come on. Yes, Krish Parik, are you still logged in or have you logged out? Yes. So Krish, yes, you are dot on the you are on the dot, Krish. Krish has answered it rightly. Determining how much work should be done, taking into account sample size. Guys, these all things are concerned with audit strategy. कितने टाइम में ऑडिट कंप्लीट होना है, आइडेंटिफाई टाइम टेबल फॉर रिपोर्टिंग, दिस इज पार्ट ऑफ ऑडिट स्ट्रेटेजी. Like when you are preparing for exams, you prepare your strategy that in how much time I have to complete my syllabus. Identify nature of business segments to be audited. This is also part of strategy. If what changes are in the applicable reporting requirements. So this is again part of audit strategy. Say if some changes has happened in regulations, then it would have an impact on the disclosure requirements in financial statements, or it can have impact upon the items in the financial statements. Yes, Krish, yes, I am receiving your messages. So option C was the right one. Kushi Gupta has also answered correctly. Priya, Krish, Soumya, they have all answered correctly. Yes. Audit strategy and audit plan are, what is the right option? Yes, audit strategy and audit plan are question number 3, guys. Yes, answer is B, not necessarily discrete processes. So guys, this is written in your module. Discrete means separate, but these are close. These are not necessarily discrete processes. It means that although a distinction is made, but they are interrelated with each other. Change in one can lead to change in another. Okay. Which of the following is not a factor to be taken into consideration by auditor while establishing audit strategy? Yes. Question number 4. It is crystal clear from the options given. Very easy, guys. Yes, Khushi and Anoop have given the answer. Which is the right answer, guys? Guys, फिर वही the same thing. Answer is D. When we talk about procedures, again you have forgotten. Right now I have made you understand. Again you have forgotten just in half an hour. Yes, Krish. When we talk about procedures, these are part of the audit plan. These are not part of the audit strategy. It is not a factor. Nature, timing, and extent of further audit procedures. Right now, yes, Krish, your answers are reaching. So answer is D. Sadab is right. Which type of substantive procedures are to be performed? These are part of the audit plan. Yes, question number 5. Preliminary engagement activities do not include. Preliminary engagement activities do not include what? Do write question number also so that I can know which question you are answering. Preliminary engagement activities do not include. Yes, this one you have answered rightly. Preparation of detailed plan. This is not part of preliminary engagement activities. All these things are part of preliminary engagement activities. Okay. So this is again on the same lines. So I would skip it. Read this question, guys. Question number 7. Read this para. Question number 7, read this para. It is a small case situation. Read this para so that I can scroll it further. Yes, you have read this para? So the options are these. Tell me which is the right option. Question number 7, guys. I am again showing it to you. This is the para. This is a small described case situation. Now 4 options are given to you. Which is the right option? Yes, Priyanka Pandey has answered. What about others? Yes, guys, for the assistant, Anamika, she has found something unusual. What she should do? Yes, all of you are writing it correctly. Yes, well done, Priyanka, Anup, Khushi. All of you have done rightly. Krish, Aditya, Soumya. Answer is D. Bring matter to the knowledge of her principal. So she is there, she is doing audit. She is part of the audit team. So her responsibilities are to her boss, are to her principal. Okay. So clear to you guys, this you have the conceptual understanding of this chapter. One more thing I'm trying to show you guys. Give me a minute, please. Okay, Priyanka, do not get disheartened. It is fine. You learn the things by doing them. Even if you have answered 2 correctly, it's good. At least you have attempted. You have kick started your mind. Yes. Yes, Ashokji, now you can unmute. Yes, students, now you can ask the questions, if any.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, Kiran Bala.
सर एक क्वेश्चन है स्टडी मटेरियल में परपोर्टेड
डिसएडवांटेजेस। हाँ, बताइए।
The purported disadvantages of an audit program can be overcome. सर ये
हाँ
क्वेश्चन आप समझा दीजिए, समझ नहीं आया क्वेश्चन।
हाँ, तो क्यों जो भी ऑडिट प्रोग्राम के क्या डिसएडवांटेज हैं, देखिए ऑडिट प्रोग्राम के क्या डिसएडवांटेज हैं कि वो मैकेनिकल बन जाता है, उसको असिस्टेंट को अपना काम करने की फ्रीडम नहीं रहती। लेकिन अगर ये प्रॉपरली इन चीजों का ध्यान रखा जाए और असिस्टेंट जो है ओपन माइंड रखे, तो ये सारी डिसएडवांटेजेस इजीली ओवरकम किए जा सकते हैं।
सर
क्लियर
इसमें
आपको?
परपोर्टेड का मतलब क्या है?
परपोर्टेड मतलब है कि सो कॉल्ड। परपोर्टेड का मतलब क्या? सो कॉल्ड, कि अब किसी चीज के सो कॉल्ड डिसएडवांटेज हैं, वैसे वो डिसएडवांटेज नहीं है लेकिन बनाने के लिए डिसएडवांटेज है। परपोर्टेड सो कॉल्ड।
ओके सर।
समझ आ गई आपको?
यस सर।
यस। एनी अदर क्वेरी?
Good evening, sir.
यस किरण बाला। यस
Yes,
किरण
sir.
बाला, you were in the last batch
Yes, sir.
also.
Yes, sir. I
So
find
you
it difficult to understand the requirement of the question.
which one?
In general, sir, जैसे last lecture का था, उसमें TCL
हाँ,
लिमिटेड का था, उसमें लिमिटेड एश्योरेंस के बारे में पूछा था, एश्योरेंस
तो
एग्रीमेंट का।
उसके लिए
तो
ऐसा है,
उसमें
इसका
मुझे
मतलब
क्या लिखना था? वो
वो आपको
उसके
वही
लिए
क्वेश्चन समझ में नहीं आया?
नहीं सर, इन जनरली अगर स्ट्रेट क्वेश्चन होते हैं तो वो हो जाते हैं, जहाँ थोड़ा ट्विस्ट हो जाता है तो क्या
हाँ, तो
रिक्वायरमेंट
उसके
है?
लिए किरण बाला आपको पहले अपनी कंसेप्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग थोड़ी बढ़ानी पड़ेगी।
सर
अगर
एमसीक्यू सही हो जाते हैं, बट ये
नहीं नहीं, वो आपको थोड़ी,
theoretical-
आपको कंसेप्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग आपको बढ़ानी पड़ेगी, चीजों को लर्न करना पड़ेगा और उनको देखना पड़ेगा कहाँ डिफरेंस है, तो ही आपको समझ में, तो ही आप उस क्वेश्चन को अटेम्प्ट कर पाएंगे। देखो थोड़ी सी तो ट्विस्टिंग होगी एग्जाम्स में। इंटरमीडिएट लेवल पे सारे ट्विस्टेड क्वेश्चंस नहीं आते हैं, लेकिन कुछ क्वेश्चंस ट्विस्टेड आएंगे जरूर।
जी
ठीक
सर।
है?
जी सर।
तो सारे क्वेश्चन डायरेक्ट नहीं आएंगे, एडवांटेज डिसएडवांटेज टाइप
जी सर।
या डेफिनेशन टाइप, सारे क्वेश्चन ऐसे नहीं होंगे। उन क्वेश्चंस का कुछ पार्ट होगा, कुछ क्वेश्चंस जो है सिचुएशन बेस्ड होंगे। अब जैसे मैंने आपको ये ऑडिट प्रोग्राम वाला भी क्वेश्चन है ना, अनामिका वाला
जी सर।
जो अभी दिखाया, तो
जी
अगर
सर।
आपको कंसेप्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, अगर सपोज यही क्वेश्चन एमसीक्यू में ना हो,
जी
यही
सर।
क्वेश्चन डिस्क्रिप्टिव में आए, तो आप कैसे आंसर देंगी? आप मेरे को इस बात का आंसर दें जरा। अगर यही क्वेश्चन आपका एमसीक्यू में नहीं आए,
जी सर।
आपने क्वेश्चन पढ़ा है, अगर यही क्वेश्चन आपको इसके बारे में 4-5 लाइनें लिखनी हो, डिस्क्रिप्टिव में आए, तो आप कैसे अटेम्प्ट करेंगे इसको?
सर मैं समझी नहीं आप क्या कह रहे हैं।
जो क्वेश्चन आपने अभी किया है ना किरण बाला, ये
जी
वाला,
सर।
ये
जी
मैं
सर।
क्वेश्चन दोबारा शो कर रहा हूं।
जी सर।
ये जो 7th क्वेश्चन जिसका आपने
जी सर।
जो आप आंसर दे रहे हैं,
जी सर। जी सर।
जो अभी स्क्रीन पे है,
जी सर।
अगर ये क्वेश्चन यहीं पे खत्म हो जाए, व्हाट शुड बी प्रॉपर कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन फॉर हर, और नीचे ऑप्शंस ना दिए हो,
जी सर।
तो आप इसको कैसे अटेम्प्ट करेंगे? आप इसको चलो समझ के चलते हैं हम।
सर वो अपने जो उसके प्रिंसिपल हैं उनको बताएगी कि क्या करना है, क्या हुआ है, अबाउट द व्हाट ही, जो उसको शॉर्ट कमिंग लगी है उसमें।
हम्म। तो उसमें उसमें आपने ये बताना है कि ऑडिट प्रोग्राम जो प्रिंसिपल ने बना के दिया है, ऑल्दो असिस्टेंट को जो अपना चेकिंग करनी है वो ऑडिट प्रोग्राम या इंस्ट्रक्शन के हिसाब से करनी है, लेकिन बट शी हैज टू ऑल्सो कीप एन ओपन माइंड।
यस।
ठीक है? और अगर कोई चीज ऐसी जो कि फिर आप उसको इस केस सिचुएशन से रिलेट करोगे कि इन दिस सिचुएशन शी हैज नोटिस्ड दिस मच, जो क्वेश्चन में लिखा है वही लिख दोगे। आधा
जी सर।
आंसर तो क्वेश्चन में ही छुपा होता है केस स्टडी बेस्ड क्वेश्चन में,
जी
कि
सर।
दैट yarn in small quantities sent to some job workers has not been received, and record keeper living adjacent to her house has informed her that supervisor enters inflated weight. So she has got some information, so she would at least inform her principal.
सर केस स्टडी में दिक्कत नहीं होती है।
नहीं
मैंने
नहीं, मैं केस स्टडी की बात नहीं कर रहा, मैं केस, ये भी केस सिचुएशन बेस्ड क्वेश्चन है।
जी सर।
मैं केस स्टडी बेस्ड क्वेश्चन की बात कर रहा हूं, मैं केस स्टडी बेस्ड एमसीक्यू की बात नहीं कर रहा। मैं केस लेट बेस्ड क्वेश्चन की बात कर रहा हूं, डिस्क्रिप्टिव टाइप जो इनडायरेक्ट टाइप है। तो उसमें स्टूडेंट को ये दिक्कत आती है कि उसमें लिखें क्या, तो लिखें क्या, उसमें से कुछ हिंट तो क्वेश्चन में ही छुपे होते हैं। आपको क्वेश्चन से ही आंसर निकालना है, और ये क्वेश्चन करने में सबसे आसान होते हैं। आप इसको मुश्किल मत समझिए। आप दो चार क्वेश्चन कोशिश करके देखिए, अगर फिर भी नहीं समझ में आती तो फिर आप मेरे से बात करना।
जी सर।
इज इट ओके किरण?
यस सर।
यस। और कोई पूछना चाहता है?
हेलो सर।
यस। अरूप।
अनूप
अनूप।
अनूप
अनूप यस।
एक्सप्लेन करते हैं।
क्या आप थर्ड एमसीक्यू कह रहे हैं?
यस सर।
थर्ड एमसीक्यू जो मैंने करवाया है या जो मॉड्यूल में
हाँ,
है?
नहीं नहीं, अभी जो करवाया सर इसमें
जो
ऑडिट
मैंने
स्ट्रेटेजी
करवाया।
और ऑडिट। हाँ।
अच्छा अच्छा, जो मैंने करवाया है। एक
नॉट
से
नेसेसरीली डिस्क्रीट था ना सर वो।
हाँ, उसमें मैं वही दिखा रहा था आपको। ये आप चैप्टर खोलेंगे ना, आप मॉड्यूल खोलेंगे तो आप यहां से इसको पढ़िए। ये वाला टॉपिक पढ़ लीजिए, रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन।
ऑडिट स्ट्रेटेजी।
यस Parkavi, I have explained everything in English during last 2 hours. Now it is more than last 2 hours. Now it is a sort of interactive session, and any student, if he can ask question in English or Hindi, it is up to his or her choice. So if you want to ask something, you can ask in English. I will explain to you in English. So, look, the establishment of audit strategy and audit plan are not necessarily discrete or sequential processes, but are closely interrelated. इसका मतलब क्या है कि जनरली तो first audit strategy is established and then audit plan is prepared. But this may not happen always in the same sequence, because audit plans sometimes also affect audit strategy. So audit plan, if auditor finds something while preparing a plan, then he has to change his audit strategy also. So discrete meaning separate, or sequential. Sequential means coming in sequence. So although these are separate process, but sometimes these are not separate processes. Okay.
ओके सर।
Yes.
एंड
Anybody
दिस
else?
और सर ओ या ऑडिट प्रोग्राम और ग्लॉसरी ऑफ टर्म्स का जो पीडीएफ है ना सर,
Yes.
वो कहाँ अपलोडेड है सर?
कौन अनूप बोल रहे हैं? अनूप।
अनूप 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 सर।
हाँ यस अनूप, जो आपका बीओएस का पोर्टल है जिसमें मैंने डिस्क्रिप्टिव क्वेश्चन अपलोड किए हैं,
हाँ सर।
जिसमें ये ग्लॉसरी ऑफ टर्म्स अपलोड की है, आप ऐप में जाके देखेंगे ना, या बीओएस पोर्टल पे जाएंगे लॉगिन करके, तो वहां
सर
पे आपको मिलेगा।
सर ऐप में कहाँ सर?
ये आपको थोड़ा सर्च करना पड़ेगा, आप पोर्टल में या बीओएस पे मेल लिख के पूछ लीजिए।
ठीक है सर।
डाउनलोड शो करता है ये।
डाउनलोड्स में शो करता है, प्रियंका बोल रही है।
डाउनलोड्स में तो सिर्फ चैप्टर 1 का था सर। ओके सर, पूछ लें। ठीक है।
नहीं, 2 का भी है, मैंने डाउन किया है अपलोड।
ठीक है सर।
यस प्रिया, यू हैव सेंड सम क्वेरी ऑन द मेल। आप पूछ भी सकते हैं मेरे से इंटरेक्टिवली।
सर
यस शदाब।
सर मुझे ये स्कोप एंड नेचर वाले वर्ड्स पे डिफरेंशिएट करने में डिफरेंशियल वो हो रही है गलती।
शदाब थोड़ा लाउडली बोलिए, क्या आपका क्वेश्चन है, क्लियरली बताइए।
सर मैं ये स्ट्रेटेजी और प्लान में डिफरेंस नहीं कर पा रहा ज्यादा, उनके बीच में कंफ्यूज हो जा रहा हूँ।
आपको ये याद रखना है कि प्लान में सिर्फ इतना आप डिस्टिंग्विश कर ले अपने माइंड में कि ऑडिट प्लान में जो प्लान्ड प्रोसीजर्स है ना, ऑडिट प्रोसीजर्स, उनकी डिस्क्रिप्शन होती है। और ऑडिट प्रोसीजर्स ये क्या होते हैं, ये जितना आपको समझ में आ गया है अभी उतना ठीक है। ये चैप्टर 3 और 4 में जब ज्यादा कवर होगा, डिटेल में कवर होगा, तब आपको बहुत अच्छी तरह से समझ में आ जाएगा।
ओके सर,
ये
तो मैं
शब्दार्थ
जरूर ध्यान देकर समझ लूंगा।
क्लियर?
यस सर, क्लियर।
ओके, यस, एनीबॉडी एल्स? यस क्रिश, वो उधर नोट सेक्शन में भी हो सकता है, क्वेश्चन अपलोड सेक्शन में भी हो सकता है। आप देखिए उधर कहाँ है। यस, एनीवन एल्स गाइस? Anybody else who wants to ask any question on chapter 2? You can raise your hand, guys, and ask from me directly, because in next lecture, chapter 3, that is a very long chapter, and we would be covering only main aspects, and I would also be handling your queries. So if you have any doubts about this chapter, guys, ask it here just now. Okay, Priya, you are saying that you are not able to talk. So your query was that if we can write answers in the facts of the case, provisions as per essay, then conclusion. Yes, yes. You have to state with the concept, then correlate it with the situation, and then give your conclusion. That is the proper way. Yes, anybody else who wants to ask any question relating to chapter 2? और स्टूडेंट्स, व्हेन अगर आपको कोई चीज एक बार नहीं समझ में आती, इफ यू फेल टू अंडरस्टैंड समथिंग वंस, देन रीड इट ट्वाइस, थ्राइस, then you would gain more clarity. Like Shadab was asking something, and if you do not understand at the first go, then try to read it twice or thrice. And even if you do not understand, then wait for some time and go to next topic. Sometimes it happens that after reading other topics, we also gain knowledge of some previous terms. It automatically comes to our mind. We say अरे बाबा ये तो ऐसा था, मैं ही नहीं समझ पाया. So like when we will be doing chapter 3 and chapter 4, many of the concepts which you are finding difficult now in chapter 1 and chapter 2, you would find them very easy. Yes, Soumya, you are asking what is the relationship between audit strategy and audit plan. So audit strategy sets the overall broad approach to the audit, whereas audit plan is the detailed plan which deals with the planned procedures, and audit strategy deals with the scope, timing, and direction of audit. So audit plan and audit strategy are related in such a way that change in one can lead to change in another. Like if there is change in audit strategy, accordingly it would lead to change in audit plan. It can take place in reverse direction also. Sometimes changes in audit plan can also lead to changes in overall audit strategy. So this is the relationship between these two. This you have to write. Yes, anyone else? Yes, Karuna ma'am, are you there?
Hello, sir. Tanya this side.
Yes.
Having some
Okay,
network
okay.
issues, so
So Tanya, ma'am, you want to talk to students? You want to say something?
no, I would just like to conclude that session was really very interactive. And
Okay.
you very well, sir. Thank you so much for explaining all the concepts so well to the students. And I think students are really enjoying the session and they are finding this session very interactive and helpful to them. Am I right?
Okay. Okay. So,
Say
yes,
thank you,
students,
sir.
have you found the session interactive?
Your feedback
Yes,
is
sir.
really very
Yes,
important for
sir.
us.
Yes, sir. We resolved our all queries.
Okay. Okay. So,
Thank you so much, sir.
Tanya ma'am, they are saying that all their queries have been resolved. So, guys, with this, we conclude this session. And
Thank you, sir.
okay, thank you. Have a good time. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Good
Okay.
Thank you,
evening, sir.
Thank
everyone.
you, sir.
So, session is over. Yes.